If you are new here, you may not know that I left the classroom back in 2021. I was a New York City high school English teacher for 11 years and I pivoted into the tech industry. Since then, I have helped thousands of people learn how to update their resume and pivot into a new career with transferable skills that they already have. And one of the biggest questions and biggest requests that I get is for my educators out here with a ton of transferable skills who are trying to figure out exactly what they need to do, what they need to update on their resume, and what roles they need to be applying to. If you are not familiar, I do have a free remote job board where I list all types of remote jobs. Most recently, I listed 40 different ed tech companies specifically for my educators to pivot into. So today what we're going to do is we're going to look at a couple of updates that you need to make to your resume if you're an educator looking to pivot into a different industry. We're going to walk through a couple of different roles that you can apply to and how to apply to those roles. So you ready? Let's get right into that tutorial. As an educator who left the field, I'm going to tell you first things first before we dive into some of the roles that you can look into. You're going to need to update your resume. First things first, you're going to want to update how you have stated your transferable skills. I did not update my resume for the 11 years that I was in that classroom, and my skills just didn't translate properly because I wasn't using the right keywords. So one of the first things you're going to want to do is you're going to want to research the roles, and we're going to get into 5 today, that you are interested in, and you want to see the keywords that often come up on those applications, on those job descriptions, and see how those skills that they're looking for, because you have them, can be updated on your resume. The second thing is when you are updating your skills and your job description on the resume, you want to make sure you're quantifying, not just describing, your specific accomplishment. So you want to make sure that those metrics are showing that you have done this and this was the result. And I will show you a couple of things that you can do and say, and how ChatGPT can obviously help you make those adjustments. And the third thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to dump the pedagogy out of the door. Unless you're applying to other educational roles, it's not really going to apply. They're not going to know what ICT is. They're not going to know what any of those things are. So you want to make sure you're updating your jargon, so to speak, to align with the job description keywords that you have researched in your job search. That can include things like how you refer to students on your resume. You no longer have to say students. You can say stakeholders. You can say clients, because at the end of the day, they are stakeholders and they are your clients in that classroom. You want to move lesson planning more into training strategy and training planning to kind of align with learning and development and instructional design roles or curriculum writing roles that you might be looking into. Instead of talking about grading and cumulative assessments, which we all do, you want to talk about data tracking and analysis. So we're turning our pedagogy into the corporate world. Once you have updated your resume and you've chosen different roles that you're interested in, you also want to make sure that you do not have a major skills gap. So I'm not saying you need to go out and do like a boot camp and pay thousands of dollars to learn all these new things, because you do have a ton of skills, educator, I know for sure, but you want to make sure if there are certain certifications or certain things that specific roles are asking for, that you use the summer or you use this time essentially to go and see if you can get them either for free or at low cost. And also identify how long it's going to take. Now, the final thing before we get into these 5 roles that I want you to consider looking into and updating your resume to kind of align with, a lot of sites and a lot of places and a lot of social media platforms are going to talk about a ton of different roles that educators can get into, and they're not wrong, but they are going to be difficult. So things like project management, product management, amazing, and definitely a segue to get into as an educator for sure. But with the saturation and the way the job market is set up, it is not going to be a hop, skip, and a jump. That is something you want to be mindful of and you want to keep on your list, but you also want to identify roles where your skills in the classroom, your degree, and all those things can still be used and are going to put you at the front of the line, as opposed to a maybe we'll consider. So let's get right into some roles that I think you would be highly qualified for due to your experience in the classroom. Let's go. First things first, we have this role here at Humana Careers for a senior learning design professional. So that is a role that you absolutely want to look for. And if you want to apply for this job, go ahead. A learning design professional. So when you are dusting off your resume and you're on LinkedIn and you're on Indeed or Monster or all these other job search sites, you definitely want to start with learning design professional. This particular role is remote, so you can apply nationwide wherever you are from. Let's take a look at some of the requirements for this job. So your main responsibilities as a senior learning design professional would would be to analyze content, organize content, design solutions, write facilitator guides, scripts, use case scenarios, performance support, mobile learning, and process documents. So on your resume, you know that you are going to identify your lesson plans and anything like that as content or as guides, because that is what this role is looking for. In addition, you are going to be responsible for planning, organizing, collaborating on developing training curriculum materials, job performance aids, and programs to meet specific training needs, beginning to influence departments' strategy. These are things you do in the classroom, especially if you are an instructional lead or team lead, or you do professional development in your classroom, which were all things that I did not only for my students, but for the other people in the English department. This was a major key factor for part of my transition out of the classroom. You're going to be coordinating and facilitating all aspects of training programs. Okay, come through professional development, PDs. We know how to do that. Travel to various states to facilitate and conduct statewide trainings, analyze learning needs and partners with subject matter experts to provide input for course content, write effective learning objectives. Hello, teachers do this every day, and coordinate performance assessments to measure training effectiveness. This is the biggest example of grading, cumulative assessments, doing all those things we do in the classroom. Yes, make sure you highlight that on your resume if you're going to apply for this role. Let's look at some of the skills that they're looking for you to qualify. So when you are looking at skills, when you're applying for things outside of the classroom, you want to make sure that it is essentially a wish list. So you want to have a majority of the things, but you don't need to have all of the things. Unless it says required, right, like a degree or something, you don't need to have every single thing, right? So associate's degree in any field, minimum of 1 year utilization management, such as FER, concurrent prior authorization, exposure to behavioral health, including working knowledge and degree, minimum 1 year training or learning development experience, intermediate advanced typing and computer navigation. All of these things don't seem like super hard skills or difficult to get. And then preferred qualifications are bachelor's degree in one of the following areas: learning performance, education, social worker, LPC, mental or behavioral health. So they are obviously interested in people in education, come through teachers, as well as Microsoft project experience using a wide variety of training tools to effectively facilitate a wide audience. Hello, teacher. Experience managing projects or processes, work experience in a healthcare and or insurance setting. Again, this is a preferred qualification. Don't get, turned away. Experience in care management or behavioral health, and certified in MHFA and all of these such things. So this is a remote position, and the hours would be 8 to 5 Eastern Standard Time. Another role that would be really great for educators to consider, where you would still get to use your degree, but you would be out of the classroom, would be a learning designer. So Cambium, which I believe is an ed tech company, so it is still in the educational industry, is looking for a learning designer. Let's look at some of the job responsibilities. So again, content design. So if you're designing curriculum, unit plans, lesson plans, all of these things, right? Unit maps, this is your content. So develop artifacts that drive instructional product development, including instructional blueprints. Come through, teachers. Prototype scopes and sequences and content models that are based on relevant academic research and learning science. I could not identify a better description of what teachers do every day. Partner with team members to ensure materials developed along with best practices, research, accessibility, standards, and equitable representation. Cross-functional, interdisciplinary work. When the English teacher would do a project, a unit plan with the social studies teacher and all that. Yeah, you have the experience. Collaborate with content engineering to ensure pedagogical design. Follows established taxonomies and back-end architecture, right? So we have research and innovation, development management. Here are some of the requirements that you would need. Bachelor's degree in education. Yeah. Curriculum and instruction, educational technology or similar. Master's degree in education preferred. So all my people in New York, you're up. 3 years designing materials for commercial educational and content providers. 2 years of K through 6 classroom teaching experience designing print and digital student and teacher-facing content, including lesson plans, videos, and interactives. Experience applying academic research to content design and development, expert level knowledge of K through 8 math and science pedagogy, deep knowledge of state and national education standards, and outstanding organization, presentation, and communication skills. required, right? So it is a remote first organization. So again, another remote role that will be perfect for educators looking to leave the classroom. Our third role that we're going to look at together is going to be the BJU press writer for elementary and secondary ELA. So if you are interested in being a press writer, a curriculum writer, curriculum developer, which is all pretty much the same thing under the umbrella, here are some of your duties and responsibilities. You provide subject matter and pedagogical, I always pronounce that word wrong, expertise, conduct planning and research related to content, national and state standards, pedagogy assessments, and other published materials. You know the vibes. You know how to do this. I won't read all of the things to you. We'll work on team to develop scope and sequence objectives and content. As a curriculum developer for my school, this was literally all I did all the time. Develop content in coordination with the biblical worldview and academic oversight teams along with design and editors. And here are some of the required skills. Content expertise, right? So you just need to be an expert in this particular content or this particular subject. Pedagogical competence, teamwork abilities, interest and ability to write educational materials, ability to meet deadlines. Education degree in subject field is a plus, advanced degree preferred, at least 3 years of relevant teaching experience, and competence with software used in the writing process. Apply, my friend. Apply, future millionaire. The fourth role is a customer success manager role. This role in particular is not a remote role. It is a hybrid in Boston. So if you are in Boston, New York, or maybe it is, maybe it might be remote. It says United States of America. I don't know. But if you are looking for customer success manager, there are a ton of remote roles available in the job market right now anyway. And here are some of the things that you would do. Deliver excellent customer service via friendly, timely, and clear communication. Come through parent-teacher conferences, yeah. And pretty much all the customer service we deliver is friendly, or we try our best. Set up new advertising campaigns and update existing campaign settings. Work cross-functionally with account strategy and operations. Provide first-level troubleshooting and escalation for Criteo products and features. Serve as an expert resource on Criteo platform functionality. Maintain a baseline understanding of your client's objectives and how your work impacts their success. This is like a teacher's play-by-play Bible guideline, 100%. And all of these other things mentioned are things that are trainable, things that you can be taught on the job. Who you are. Exceptional organizational skills, exceptional attention to detail, strong written and verbal communication skills, solutions-oriented, collaborative spirit, adaptable, self-motivated, experience in advertising, ad tech, or digital media preferred. Preferences? You've got all these soft skills here, okay? Customer-facing role, your students are your customers, are your clients, are your people. So this is something that you would definitely have to lean into your soft skills because most of the requirements are soft skills. They're not asking you to be an engineer here. So this is definitely a role that if I was looking into customer success management roles, I would absolutely 100% apply. And the US based salary is $60,000 to $75,000. More than a lot of teachers are making, unfortunately. And the last role we are going to look at is directly on LinkedIn, and it is for a learning and development manager. L&D managers make bank, and this one is for TuneCore. The main reason that I did not essentially, I hate easy play on LinkedIn, but let's look at the job description and what they want you to have. You need to be collaborative with management, work closely with global learning and development team. You want to be You're a key stakeholder for all talent management initiatives, which as an educator, you're a key stakeholder all the time, all day, every day. Design and develop training programs, courses, and materials, including online resources and instructor-led training. Deliver training programs to employees, evaluate training effectiveness, sounds like assessment to me, partner with subject matter experts to ensure training content is accurate, coordinate and manage logistics, own all learning and development reporting and metrics, grade books, analyze and report on training program metrics, stay current with industry trends, and assist with our learning and development initiatives. Nothing you can't do, nothing that's not in your wheelhouse. And the qualifications, again, we're looking for a degree in education, bachelor's degree, 3 to 5 years of experience in learning and development, instructional design, or related field. The classroom is your related field. Demonstrate experience in designing and delivering effective training programs, strong project management and organizational skills, data focus, excellent communication, proficiency in Microsoft Office. I don't know a teacher who's not proficient in Microsoft Office. Ability to work independently and creative problem solving. So if you want this job, go out and get it as well. because these are 5 roles that you can absolutely look into, apply for, and branch out into other companies that are hiring for these roles as well. And that's all I got for you. Let's go to the outro, shall we? If you find this type of career development content helpful, I want you to hit that subscription button below. And you can also sign up for my free career development newsletter that I send out every single week with career development skills and access to my free remote job board. I'm going to put that link right in the description box, and I'll catch you in the next video. Peace.